and they're a team that love playing when everybody is going against them.
First Killer was so upset that he lost to Riyadh 10-3 that FaZe then scored 22 goals in their series against Pirates. Okay, well, here we go. FaZe have battled all the way back into the top 8. Spacestation been there all along. And Arsenal trying to start things off for SSG, but it's typical. Taking one away, First Killer pop up. And we'll see if there are any nerves at all with FaZe getting back onto the main stage, having played kind of in a studio environment on day 2.
I mean, there may well be nerves. They are playing for $200,000, the winner of this one. Absolutely crazy money. More than many players have made in their entire careers. Can be won and lost just in these quarterfinals. And that only goes up. But to me, the most important thing, the key here for Spacestation Gaming is these 3v3s. If they lose those, then to me, FaZe Clan, they edge it in 2v2, where they have such a strong squad. They've been mixing who plays with First Killer, whether it's Typical or AJ. And of course, to me as well, they also edge it in the ones, just that little bit better than Daniel. I'm sure he'd love to prove me wrong, as would SSG, as they have the pressure at the moment, but FaZe Clan managed to get it away, at least for now.
Daniel's gonna have to bring this to the corner where his 2v2 teammate Reddles was waiting. And AJ in kind of an awkward spot with Arsenal bearing down on him. Of course, Arsenal expected only to play in the 3v3s. Quite content with that role, I'm sure, watching the young phenom Daniel go to work, but it's AJ getting the job done for FaZe Clan early off this feed from First Killer.
First Killer has so much respect from his opponents that when he goes for a double tap, they assume that he's going to get it every single time, which seems to be the meta at the moment. Atomic for G2 has brought in this era where missing the ball tactically is just as effective as getting the perfect second touch. And that kickoff, it was very good for FaZe Clan. Falls to Spacestation Gaming, though, as the shot wasn't quite on target. Spacestation Gaming going to have to slow things down, get themselves back into this one. These two opponents haven't played as often as you would expect, despite being both at the top of North America. As Greg had mentioned on the desk, not since Spring Regional 1 have they come against each other, but with Sipical, a former Space Station player, they will know all about each other's game styles.
Sipical on his way back to perhaps defend against Reddles here, with Arsenal charging forward, looking for any heads to take off the field. Reddles all the way across, Arsenal's over there, his shot blocked away by AJ, and Sipical running right through the SSG defense and then getting a demo from behind in retribution, and AJ stuffed on the ground, so no second goal for him just yet. Ground pinch over to Arsenal, gets this downfield, but nothing further from SSG, unless Arsenal could win that challenge, which he could not.
Spacestation Gaming are at risk right now as Rettles tries to go over the top. Let's just see if he manages it. Lovely touchdown. Daniel's there. It's a great save from Sipical. And Arsenal is nowhere near. And what I was going to say was that Spacestation are in danger of falling into FaZe Clan's trap. They are happy to play this defensive playstyle when they have to, because they know when they do get ball control, FaZe Clan this is, they can just dribble forward with such skill. All three of them put Spacestation Gaming right back on the defense, but they are coming forward again. But this huge win from AJ seems to be the difference between these two teams right now.
And that's a big, big change for FaZe Clan. Ever since the winter split, it feels like they've become a much better defensive squad. It's not just First Killer saving everything. Others have gotten involved as well. Sipical that time, but Daniel on the rebound ties the game.
Spacestation Gaming keep to plan A, and eventually it does work. There was a demo on Sipical along the way. He did respawn and got the first save, and First Killer and Daniel, I'm sure not the only time we'll see those two share that close control to a ball in the rest of this series, but it's Daniel that wins the race that time.
Tie ball game now inside 2 minutes with AJ going back to work, but there's no boost for him to steal, and there's no boost anywhere near him. So he's going to be in a real awkward spot. Made the save point blank on Reddles. So Reddles' shooting accuracy has been kind of a story in this event, because he's kind of had a resurgence. Reddles playing exceptionally well here at Gamers8, the second highest shooting percentage in the whole event, just a shade under 46%. Expect almost half of his shots to go in, but his first one in this game did not.
Despite that, though, he was dropped for the 2v2 or stepped away amicably against F16 yesterday, which was a series that they won 3-0 to get them to this point. So just showing that all these FaZe Clan players, they're finding form at the perfect time with $500,000 on the line for the winning team. It could be them. AJ could put FaZe Clan back in the lead right here from the corner. What a finish, what a play. It's 2-1 FaZe.
Sure, technically assisted by Sipical, but assisted by AJ. quick read with that one coming out low. Perfect placement and a 2-1 lead for FaZe Clan.
It's just pure reflexes there and instinct from AJ. You know, as soon as he'd won that challenge, he recovers so quickly. You can tell he's one of these, you know, these perfect 1v1 players. He's always thinking of the next touch. He's got some defending to do now. First killer, a lovely hit across the top. Rettel's going to go for this one. He can't, so Sypical can slow things down towards AJ. Rettel's on it quickly. And Arsenal there from the ceiling would love to dig his way underneath this ball, but it's not quite going to happen. More good defending from FaZe Clan, and they're beginning to frustrate Space Station and get these huge clearances. A massive redirect from Sypical. Arsenal clears long.
AJ up in the air again. He's got both goals for FaZe Clan. He's been the table setter for FaZe in this event so far. Normally picking up assists, he's got way more, almost an assist and a half per game, which is about half an assist more than second place in this event. Daniel with a full tank of boost though, coming up for the challenge on Sypical. But first killer, boom, one away again, so Arsenal has to play over towards Rettles, and first killer's right there. 7 seconds remain for SSG to spin this game around. Good pass ahead, but Daniel's pass is cut off, and now Sypical's just got to bring this down to ground, and he almost did, but Arsenal to the backboard. AJ, can he kill it? Yes, he can. FaZe Clan take game 1.
And deservedly so as well. They did a really good job of dodging regularly Arsenal when he was playing in front of the ball, going for those bumps, trying to disrupt the FaZe Clan defensive rotation. They were having absolutely none of it. And on the 1 or 2 occasions where Space Station Gaming managed to get their infield pass across, FaZe closed it so quickly. A proper defensive performance. And I mean, FaZe Clan, the fact that they can defend now, that's how they eventually managed to shed that mantra of being a team who would always make it into the top 4 and then go out. They finally won their regional in spring. Although they didn't perform in London, they would have taken those lessons to heart, and my goodness, will they be applying them right now.
So for the first time in this event, Space Station Gaming gets choice of format here. They had gone undefeated against Heat and Endpoint, and we'll see if they opt for 2v2 or the 1v1. We have not seen Daniel in a 1v1 yet in this tournament. Both Heat and Endpoint opting for 2v2s, which meant instead of dealing with Daniel, they had to deal with Daniel plus.
I mean, that's going to be really tough as well for Daniel. The fact that First Killer has been playing consistently for FaZe Clan in these 1v1s. He's had some victories. He's had some really tough losses against Ruas, with the crowd against FaZe Clan rooting for F16. He conceded a lot of goals. It was a real struggle for him. 10-3 with Ruas winning that one at a canter. So he's got that experience of winning and losing, and that can really help with the pressure.
Well, I think we could cheat a little bit there and see Arsenal was in free play. Rettles was on the menu. So yes, it is Daniel against AJ.
Ooh,
so we will not see First Killer here.
Well, I'm not too surprised to see that, considering recently, in the last few months at least, Daniel and AJ actually did a show match on Johnny Boy's channel, and AJ completely dominated Daniel. Daniel spent the entire series going for edgeable bumps, going for fancy plays, and AJ wasn't falling for it at all. But in this one right now, when it matters a lot more, Daniel does give his team a lead.
Yeah, Daniel with the opening goal, and that's where the matchups come in. And we haven't seen many, matchup-specific choices. A lot of these teams have just said, look, this is our 1v1 guy, and it doesn't matter. A few teams, though, like Dignitas, like FaZe Clan, they have multiple different options. Falcons, you could say they have different options, but everybody, even on the team, says TRK is the guy, and he has been in this event as AJ quickly ties things up here. You can expect a high-scoring Wild West shootout between these two juggernauts.
Lovely kickoff there from AJ, and I mean, these two players, they have it all in 1v1. They can mix up their kickoffs, try and surprise their opponents. That one's just standard, but Daniel is going to win it. AJ's waiting. He knows that Daniel has the boost and attacks him quickly. Really good decision, but Daniel's recoveries are good enough to allow him to get back into it. Daniel can go away with the ball. He's got 50 boost in the tank. Will still have those memories of that show match in his mind, but he's learned from them, as he always seems to do. Such an intelligent player is young Daniel, and look at him go.
40 seconds in, already 3 goals between the two, alternating back and forth, Daniel and AJ. Exactly what we could have expected, whether it was Daniel AJ or Daniel First Killer. We know that neither is going to be particularly effective at keeping the other off the scoreboard, as Daniel sticking with the kickoff here, and a great win at the center line gives SSG's Daniel the 2-goal lead.
So far, the only goal we've had for FaZe Clan and AJ has been the kickoff goal, and Daniel just cancels out that one there to restore that lead back to 2 goals. It's a really, really good start for Daniel, the man, of course, coming into this one cold in the 1v1s. Could be another one for AJ, but he slows down. The flicks so effective. They definitely seem to be able to be on top of each other today. From their Octanes, going for solidity. And just for the first time in this game, really, we're going to have a few seconds of slowing down at midfield play.
Now, the 1v1s have probably been the least practiced of the 3 formats leading into this event. We talked to some teams in scrims and they say they're going, 3 3s, 2 2s, and a single 1v1 matchup. Of course, time being what it is, one's taking a lot of it. AJ just mesmerizing Daniel, who didn't have a clue how to defend this.
Yeah, Daniel found himself in a really awkward position, and AJ, he did get the flip reset. I thought it was a fake, but it was sort of a semi-wave dash at the end there, just to prod it past him. Really, really smart play from AJ, a player who has slowed down his 1v1 mechanics in recent months, with a fake kickoff as well to add to it. He is a thinker of the ones game nowadays.
Unorthodox strategy, got the touch coming off the ground, and AJ putting on a show.
Think all you like, have all the tactics that you want, but when AJ just catches this ball on his roof, pirouettes around it like a genius ballet dancer, that is beautiful to equalize for AJ and FaZe Clan.
Unbelievable stuff. We've seen Daniel light up the highlight reel as well in this event, but this time it's AJ. And he's looking for more. Daniel, maybe a little more proactive, going with the backboard. Ground pinch easily cleared as Daniel recovered. And now stuffed by AJ at midfield. He's just got everything working right now. Tough to score from here, and they will off the rebound.
AJ's air game yet again. Daniel is struggling to deal with it, whether it's an aerial challenge or just the read on what AJ is attempting. Even when he misses, it still seems to be a perfect assist for himself, as everything is working for AJ. This is more like what we saw recently as well.
You see First Killer just watching this thinking, you know what? If it were me, it'd already be 7-0. What are we doing here?
But I mean, that ego is why FaZe Clan is so good. You feel like beyond dropping a player, as AJ fakes the musty and then gets saved by Daniel, they're never going to have that confidence shaken. Maybe in each other, but not in themselves. But Daniel is a confident boy as well. Just waits for his moment. AJ takes one attempt too many, fully commits to the play. And Daniel is able to punish him.
Do we think somebody gets to a 10 spot in this game? We've still got over half the game to go, already 4 goals apiece.
I think they both might at this rate.
Just unbelievable stuff. We don't see shootouts like this nearly enough. We get a lot of, especially in this tournament, we've had a lot of like the, 5-4, maybe like a 6-2, because there's clearly a mismatch. These two, they know each other so well. AJ adding a 5th as he jumps back in front, just catching Daniel out of position again.
Yeah, Daniel just got lost in AJ's far corner there, and AJ was able to punish him just to make sure that any of that Space Station gaming momentum is well and truly squashed pretty much early on straight away. And yeah, I love this. This is both players playing really well right now. Daniel maybe with another chance from kickoff. Can AJ get back and flick it up? He can. Oh, so unfortunate. Daniel prods it home to make it 5-all. It is going to be 10-all at this rate.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, just before the halfway mark, he did everything he could. He was trying to get that off the outside of the crossbar, and Daniel doing well to stay back, realizing that was the only possible play. Well done by both. Better by Daniel to tie it up.
Lovely effort, though, from AJ just to send that one over. Where's this kickoff gone? Daniel has got boost here. AJ will know that. Opposite charging quickly this time. AJ's going to have to avoid 1 or 2 dodges, but Daniel is able to do it, and he turns around, and he makes it 6.
We talk often about the midfield boost being oh so important, but it's not that important, young Daniel. Oh, he left the ball for AJ.
I think Daniel thought that his bump was a bit more effective and would send AJ further as soon as it was, and Daniel had already committed to get what he thought would be the free boost. AJ just turns into it. Gets himself goal number 6 for FaZe Clan. Daniel's won that kickoff. AJ with a massive challenge, though. Who's going to win that boost grab? It's going to be AJ. Daniel with a lovely touch. Takes it into the corner and sends AJ backwards. As AJ challenge the ball quickly, he does. Daniel, another effective flick. Should be able to put this one home, but that is the first mistake of the 1v1. It's a miss when Daniel really should have scored.
You're not going to get many more great opportunities like that against AJ. Maybe not nearly enough, especially when AJ has been so successful on his attacks. He's got all the time in the world. Up to the skies, flip reset, brought it to ground, and what a win by Daniel, where AJ has fooled him multiple times. Daniel wins that one decisively.
Yeah, Daniel just never gives up. We had this late flip reset earlier on from AJ, and it was super effective. This time, though, Daniel saw it coming, saying to AJ, you're going to have to mix up that challenge. It's not going to work time and time again. And we do seem to have reached a point in this 1v1 where one or two mechanical mistakes are starting to come in. Flicks that aren't quite happening. Challenges where the player's car is not where it should be. He'll be the first player to really step back up from there. It could be Daniel wants to get as much distance on this ball as possible. AJ, where was the save from that angle? Daniel sends it home to give Spacestation the lead.
You won't see it there on that replay, but Daniel slowed up his challenge right at midfield coming off the kickoff, and AJ was in recover mode the entire time, and now finally Daniel jumps in front with just over 90 seconds left.
It's so close though. A lead at this point pretty much means nothing because we know there will be more goals for both these players. AJ might be about to score one straight away. I knew there would be one. I didn't know it would be that quick. Another kickoff goal, and it's AJ who scores it.
Yeah, where Daniel slowed things up last time, AJ knew he had Daniel beat if he just drills one. Daniel nearly got there, but AJ's power too much.
We sticking with 10-all?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
10-10 OT, maybe more.
Well, let's keep going. If these kickoffs keep being as...
Got him. Good grief.
For Daniel, I mean, at this point, I sort of want to see one of these players maybe attempt a wave dash kickoff, maybe attempt a fake kickoff. I don't know, just stay in goal and jump a few times like we used to do in 2015 to try and goad your opponent. Because this is just coin tosses in the center.
You know that there are people out there just going, oh my goodness, these kickoffs are just so much luck. Where's the skill involved here? Let me tell you, there is more skill on the field right now than there is in many, many pro lobbies combined. This is just a treat to watch.
Well, I think Daniel was going for AJ there instead of the ball. Maybe just rotating to get back in front of AJ. Is trying to get all sorts of nibbles on Daniel. Daniel, can he recover in time? I don't think he'll be able to, but he can actually.
Oh my goodness.
He is boost starved though until he gets this 100. So AJ actually sets up Daniel. That was a poor touch from AJ. He's in the air. Daniel has all the time in the world. Might be able to finish it. Oh, not quite. Well saved from AJ. He got himself into the right position. Now he has a chance, but Daniel will be frustrated that he couldn't make that solo chance count.
Yeah, it looked like maybe AJ was in the air. Daniel saw that, so he tried to slow it down, wait him out, make him burn all his boost, and it just didn't work out. Now Daniel trying to expand on this lead, but AJ up to the task. Got the boost steal. He'll take midfield as well. But AJ still has possession and plenty in the tank. 20 is a lot when it's someone like AJ with it. But there's the shot by Daniel. Got around AJ, opens the lead to 2.
Yeah, Daniel had about 38 boosts, and that is not the touch he needed. Just have to stay in front of that one. As soon as he loses possession to Daniel, he has no angle to play with. Daniel has full possession, full momentum, the full chance to double his lead. 17 seconds left. AJ needs a kickoff goal.
Ooh.
There is a change.
Okay,
Wait
Daniel.
to the split second
And
as well,
I don't think AJ knew what to do with that.
No.
He's not going to have any boost to go in on the attack. That's brilliant from Daniel. But now with 7 seconds left, AJ, got to have one here. 5 seconds. He's going to run out of time.
It's done.
Daniel holds off AJ to tie up the series.
Go on, get it in. Oh, you got to let that one go in, Daniel. Doesn't matter though, Spacestation Gaming, they do get that game back in the 1v1, which is where I thought FaZe Clan would be strongest. And now AJ, I mean, he is the player whose head can drop a little bit on this FaZe Clan roster, especially when he's next to First Killer, a man who, of course, as you alluded to, will genuinely be thinking, I would have won that. Because he always thinks I would have won that, because he always thinks he will win. Now he's lost it, they have to go into this 3v3, and that is what is so fascinating about this crew battles format. Everything that's come before, you know, the minutiae of the comms in the 3v3, the moments in the 1v1 that didn't go your way, that you're thinking it would have gone my way, you have to let that go and calm like it's any other series.
With this being best of 7 now in our quarterfinal round, we know we'll at least see a 5th game, so we will see a couple of 3v3s along the way. We know we'll see 2v2 in game 4, but now that win by Daniel kind of plants the seed in everybody's ear now, like, all right, so what are we doing for game 6 if we get there? Does Daniel maybe get a shot at First Killer, depending on who has the choice, or do we go with 2s? We'll, of course, find that out much, much later on. We go back to 3v3 since we see 9-7 up there from the previous game. Daniel on top.
No 10s though, sadly. So,
no 10s.
We both lose that prediction.
Stop choking, players. Come on.
But yeah, it was a very tense first game where Spacestation Gaming had most of the pressure, but FaZe Clan, they just got the counterattacks back against Spacestation Gaming, so smart play from them. I do wonder, will FaZe Clan go into this one all guns blazing, try and control the pace a little bit, because they didn't really do that despite winning that first game? It could be a way to shake off any nerves after losing that 1v1.
Pulse. So right back at it with a 3v3 between Spacestation and FaZe. It's the RLCS all over again. Sypical quickly out of the zone. After his team, last time these two squads met up, didn't quite go so well for FaZe, but they do have the advantage over SSG in this calendar year since these two rosters settled the way they are. Daniel narrowly blocking one away with AJ bearing down on him, and Reynolds clears.
Yeah, that was a really good save there from Daniel. It was tough. They managed to double jump in time just to get that ball away. FaZe Clan, they have indeed started this second 3v3, really well. Playing it a little bit faster. First killer wants to get some boost, won't get it, but does still have 40 to do something weird. He gets it across the face of goal, but AJ, I think he was going for bumps and demos, trying to take out a Space Station player. Might backfire here if Rettles can get a decent redirect. Arsenal up against AJ. The challenge goes into the center. First killer, great pace to get there. FaZe Clan seem a lot faster than they did in game one, despite winning it.
With a matchup like this, you learn a lot about how these teams handle adversity as well, because you know it's going to be evenly matched. You know these teams are going to have to respond after losses, whether individual losses or as a team. His first killer shot just a little bit high and wide, and AJ can't stay with the play. Neither can first killer, even though he got the demolition. Sypical beaten by Arsenal, but first is right there, and it'll fall right to him. With FaZe, I think they've been more battle-tested, of course, because they had that drop down to the lower bracket. They had to make the same kind of run yesterday that like a 0-1 had to make, where they go through the entire lower bracket. But again, they did it in that studio environment, not too far from where we're standing right now, as opposed to teams like well, everybody else, Falcons, etc., everybody from groups B and D that had to do it on the stage to get to this point.
I mean, you talk about adversity, and Space Station Gaming are a team that have had more than pretty much anyone else recently, at least in lands. That goal they conceded against Moist, so close to a best-of-7 reverse sweep. They were one up with, was it 9 seconds left, and they ended up conceding a kickoff goal, an agonizing one as well, and losing the series to a musty flick assist in overtime to the eventual winners. Those are the things that they'll say they've moved on from, but they'll still be on your head somewhere, just nestling deep inside your brain. That's where comms and Chrome as well for Space Station. Their coach is going to be so important just to get it out of their heads, put them back in the moment. As Arsenal charges down Sypical. Arsenal's there on the back, but wants to take out first killer as well. Great play from Arsenal. Space Station Gaming almost doing what they do best. FaZe Clan doing what they do best in this 3v3 series, keeping the ball at the back of the net, playing it forward, and almost scoring with Sypical.
Of course, the families get into this little rivalry as well. The social media banter earlier today with the Gamers8 Twitter pointing out that FaZe had kind of struggled, and maybe this could be a moment where they turn it around, and Mama Reddle's getting involved going, yeah, but they're playing Space Station, so really? Absolutely love to see it. Full-on confidence.
Well, it's also helpful that you're playing against a team that you know about as well. You know, for all the weirdness of the format, you're in a brand new place. There's more money than ever before. Everything is different. You come up against a team from the same region that you will have experience beating, and you can hopefully forget all of that. Just go in and play your game. And what a game it's been so far. Rettles charges down Sypical. Arsenal's bumping again. He is getting so involved, all up in that FaZe Clan defense. Once again, they survive. Here's Sypical. Wants to get a flip reset eventually. Does he know it's just a good old-fashioned air dribble? But Rettles watched it all the way.
Both teams scoreless now, coming towards the final minute. Overtime looming, where FaZe has way, way more experience in golden goal territory, but neither of these teams have lost in overtime. The disparity between the two is quite alarming. We'll get to that if we reach that point here.
Oh, I'm excited.
In game 3. I give you a little teaser there as AJ will pop one away. And again, brought right back to center, but it's Sypical up ahead, just not having any teammates there. The passes just haven't been on point because there hadn't been anybody to receive those passes on either side. the defenses are having kind of an easy go of it here in game 3.
That's 2 FaZe Clan double commits in a row, though. Maybe just getting a little bit itchy. Need to calm it down. I know they just lost that 1v1, but it's still 0-0 in a best of 3. No need to rush into things. As Arsenal charges down First Killer. First Killer is bumped out the way again by Arsenal. He must be so frustrating to play against. Daniel misses it. Where's First Killer? He's going for the bump himself. Is that one going in? Yes, it is. FaZe Clan takes Spacestation Gaming down almost at their own game.
We've played nearly 2 full 3v3s and a 1v1, and still only AJ and Daniel have scored in this series. AJ adding yet another, his 10th. Is it enough to propel FaZe in front going into a 2v2, or does Daniel have it? Oh no! A golden opportunity not finished off by SSG. Redo's gonna have to start from scratch. Daniel, pop up, avoids the demo. Drop down, easily cleared by First Killer. Arsenal's there though, he avoided contact, dropped to ground though. FaZe Clan does it again, coming up clutch at the end.
The kickoff goes to Landon, so close to being sent away, but that ball hitting the crossbar just increases the agony for Spacestation Gaming. FaZe Clan still looking stoic, they always will. That was an edgy, nervy win for them. I'd say they were second best for large points of that game. Double commits, the defense was starting to be broken, but they scored when it mattered. And what will hurt Spacestation Gaming the most as we head into this 2v2 is that it was a bump goal. Spacestation Gaming's bread and butter that was the goal that sunk them in the end. Really, really tough position here for Spacestation Gaming. I said the threes were important to them. They've now lost both of them in this series so far.
Yeah, something Reynolds and Arsenal kind of became very, very popular for alongside Gyro with the old school Peep squad. It took them to a dub in Montreal, oh so famously, with Reynolds jumping up on top of the table, screaming to the heavens. But now, a much more reserved Space Station Gaming. Ever since that spring major, they've been kind of a lot calmer. I mean, the confidence is still there, but they're not as boisterous as they've been in the past. And now they find themselves trailing 2-1 to FaZe Clan. Daniel being called into action surely once again, this time alongside Reynolds for a 2v2. Have to imagine AJ's going to be over there for FaZe because he's literally the only FaZe Clan member capable of scoring a goal. So we'll see who tries to set him up for said goals here in Game 4.
Yeah, FaZe Clan have been changing.
Oh my goodness, it's not. Of course.
Yeah, exactly. They have been changing who their 2v2s have been with. Have FaZe Clan, and it is First Killer and Cypical after AJ lost the 1v1. We'll now have to watch from the sidelines.
Well, they're done for now, right?
Well, maybe. Let's see. Here's First Killer. Might give an early lead for FaZe Clan. Yeah, 2v2. Very different game mode. So much boost to play with, so much space for each player. You always have to be watching it back. Space Station Gaming weren't doing it, and FaZe Clan make their early pressure count.
Somebody else finally scores. They had to by default if they were going to beat Space Station here in Game 4. First Killer catching SSG by surprise. Don't think they realized he was there. 17 seconds in. So FaZe has scored, what, with 16 seconds left in one game and 17 seconds into the next. A lot of momentum on their side, but here comes Daniel, a certain momentum killer, but Reynolds way, way back, couldn't get involved with the rebound.
Oh, Reynolds let that one go as well. The shot is only going to go as far as Daniel, excuse me. He keeps himself some boost, goes to that far corner. Touch that pinch, a little bit awkward from Cypical, but he still recovered in time to get the second touch. This could be a chance if he can beat Daniel. Not quite this time. So the ball is just played on Space Station Gaming territory. Yet again, it seems to be staying here most of the time in blue. As Daniel tries to go for something. Already victorious in that 1v1. Will give him so much confidence. And he and Reynolds have been running very well in the 2v2. Space Station Gaming unbeaten in any game going into this series. A couple of 3-0s for them right here to the playoffs. $90,000 to play with. First Killer though, the huge double tap, but it's going to be an overcommit, and I think that should be 1-1. No! Another miss from Space Station Gaming. It could have been so different for them. FaZe Clan double commit, but it won't do them any harm.
Reynolds patiently waiting over here with Cypical at the backboard. Reynolds going to try to get the bump. He's got it, but First Killer is there as well. So FaZe Clan keep their lead and not able to expand on it as the shot goes a little bit wide. It's so weird though seeing these teams that, of course, so adept in threes, and one side has won both of them up to this point, and Space Station constantly having to play keep up.
They've been very close though in the 3v3s, and it's been close series all round. Could it be a close 2v2 as well? Maybe if Daniel can finish this, not quite. So now Sipical using absolutely no boost because he has none. Just gets it towards First Killer. That one in the air. First Killer's going to get himself 100 boost and then be teed up by Sipical. Lovely to see passing plays in 2v2. First Killer turns the ceiling hit into a flip reset. Somehow it works. I thought they'd overcommitted. I thought it was about to go against them. But what happened to the SSG defense?
Oh, Daniel was trying to avoid First Killer, and he still nearly got back to this one. What FaZe is up against right now, too, this is no small task. Reynolds and Daniel, the second highest scoring average in twos, granted in a very, very tiny sample size, but 10 goals from their 2 appearances in twos. But so far, it is all FaZe Clan. They have all the cards, and so far, SSG has been unable to solve the puzzle as this goes out to the side, and First Killer's got a boot steal to his efforts. And now Daniel, all the way across. Reynolds, big shot set away by Sipical.
Despite going unbeaten to this one in 2v2, Spacestation Gaming have had some hard work to do. They managed to beat Parker and Razia's 4-3 in 2v2 back in their series against Heat a couple of days ago. So they have had to fight through some adversity, but they find themselves 2-0 down now to FaZe Clan. First Killer and Sipical playing very well together, and First is getting so much space, which for now Spacestation Gaming are defending with well. Retos trying to bump Sipical to let Daniel in, but he doesn't quite have the angle to get this one on target, which means that Retos just has to rotate back, a little bit isolated.
It's so important, too, for FaZe Clan to win this game, because you go up 3-1, you guarantee that if we get to that 6th game where the loser has choice of 1v1 or 2v2, you've got the choice, and you could go back to 2s where, if this holds, they will have been very successful, and maybe more importantly, you avoid having to go in a 1v1 with Daniel, which I think is just about everybody's biggest fear outside of, again, Falcons.
I mean, to be honest, I'd still back FaZe Clan to win the next 1v1 against Daniel. I think they'll be thinking the same thing, but the fact that they do have that choice is massive for them. Retos, can he mind game First Killer here? No, he's just rushed his flick somewhat. That's really where you want Daniel in that situation, where the mechanics really matter. It was the wrong man at the wrong time, but they did get themselves a chance, Spacestation Gaming. Can they get themselves another?
Daniel, 1 flip reset. We know that's not always the end of it. But this time it doesn't convert. Reynolds, 1 bump, and again, they just have not been able to get that shot in a good spot at all. Great save by Reynolds, coming in from behind, getting that off the frame. But now First Killer again, wasting more time. Almost pinned it to the backboard. Reynolds and Daniel in the same place at the same time. Normally not good. Reynolds comes away with it, and Sipical with another clutch save. This is the biggest difference for FaZe Clan as well. Just collectively, now in all the formats, they've become so good defensively and really a force to be reckoned with if they can get deep into a tournament, which they have here at Gamers8.
Yeah, they're showing their doggedness, our FaZe Clan right here. So many chances for Spacestation Gaming, all of them going begging because of that goal line defense from FaZe Clan. Reynolds is desperate to get past Sipical, but Sipical just takes him out the game, even on the way out. Reynolds goes for a bump. It's not going to work. First Killer is going to finish it. FaZe Clan go within 1 game of, get this, $200,000.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you look at the teams that they've played to reach this point, go 1-1 with F16 along the way, win the one that matters most in the lower finals, and you could come away with a $200,000 payoff if they can finish off SSG. They are certainly in good position to do so. Match point for FaZe Clan.
Spacestation Gaming are really going to have to be looking at themselves right now and thinking, okay, fair enough, we didn't win. How didn't we score? That second FaZe Clan goal in particular was not making any highlight reels. It was a little bit ugly. It was, to be fair, credit to FaZe Clan making the most of an awkward situation. The Spacestation Gaming will be very frustrated after that one, but they've only lost both 3v3s by 1 goal. The second game, at least, they were the better team. This is what they have to be telling themselves.
I think that was an excellent performance as well from Sipical in particular. I mean, he's always going to be the guy that is looked at under the microscope the most. When you look at this FaZe Clan roster, it started, of course, with Illusion, First Killer, AJ at the start of the previous this RLCS season. And we always kind of knew that it's like, okay, it's going to be First Killer and AJ. And if anybody gets removed from the roster, it's not going to be those two. And they've been looking for that perfect fit. And Sipical, it wasn't pretty early on, but it was effective, and it has become so much better despite their poor result in London. they look so good as a team, and kind of like Guild, maybe peaking at just the right time.
Yeah, I mean, it never is pretty at the start when these super teams come together. It's always more difficult than they think it would be. And FaZe Clan, they were no different. But as we mentioned earlier, they have started winning tournaments. You know, online regionals are so different to where we're at now in this beautiful studio, the glitz and the glamour, that big bag of money on the horizon. It is different, but in some ways it's the same, especially when you're coming up against Spacestation Gaming and you need one more game from the Final Four. It's, you know, it sounds pretty easy when you put it like that, but as we load up Wasteland, it's not going to be simple. Spacestation Gaming, if they can just start taking their chances in the 3s, but also in the 2s, I mean, they did take their chances in the 1s, that's how they won it, then we're being teased here, Stacks. We're being teased.
Red light.
Here we go. We'll start eventually. But yeah, I mean, Spacestation Gaming have every chance of winning this one.
Absolutely, and you will just make sure all the players are good and ready to go here. This is match point for FaZe Clan. If you're just joining us, they've won games 1, 3, and 4, which means they're 2-0 in the 3v3 portion so far. In this best of 7. And
hey!
Here we go. We are off and running, and nobody's surprised off the kickoff. I think there's probably just communication between admins and players, making sure we're all on the same page and ready to go at the same time. Communication with admins within Rocket League, it just feels like it's better with the players than it is in other sports. Maybe I'm just wrong because I don't know them as well, but this is sent away by Daniel. But yeah, everybody seems to do well by the players on our admin side.
I mean, I blame the players, always blame the players, never blame the admin. But the players are the ones that we're all watching in this 5th game. Sypical wants to get this one to First Killer. And First Killer and Sypical sort of have a little bump as they head backwards towards AJ. First Killer's already up. AJ there to the side. He's going to get this one. Sypical's coming in. He's going to get the ball onto the target, but Rettles takes it away.
Rettles playing one across here. Again, denied by First Killer, and just seems like FaZe collectively have had Rettles' number. He has not had the success that he had against Heat and Endpoint earlier in this tournament. He's had a tough time getting going despite having the highest shooting accuracy on the team. And it's almost like it's a point of emphasis not to let him get going. Where normally you think of Arsenal as the guy like, okay, once he scores 1, you know that a bucket load of goals are coming. But so far, Rettles hasn't got it going. Daniel has, but that's it.
Daniel's going to be underneath this one. AJ's going to beat into it, actually, and win it cleanly. Now there's Daniel in the corner. First Killer just standing strong against him. He's played very well this series as First Killer, and you can see he's starting to want to be involved as much as possible, go for those solo plays. Eventually he tees up AJ. Spacestation Gaming with some defending to do for the first time in a little while. So let's have one land. I was going to say a poor decision, but actually it worked out perfectly for him. He manages to buy his team some space and some time and get it into the center. And now Spacestation Gaming coming forward. A real battle in midfield in this one, but no clear-cut chances just yet.
Daniel couldn't stay with this play, so another missed opportunity for SSG. They let FaZe take over. Good win by Rettles at midfield, though. Things starting to go well for him, and he'll get the assist as Arsenal scores his first goal.
Yeah, lovely play from Spacestation Gaming, just brute forcing their way through. It was Rettles smashing AJ in that challenge, and then going out to take on First Killer as well. A very Spacestation Gaming goal from Spacestation Gaming to give themselves the lead. I believe the first time they've had the lead in the series, in 3v3, and certainly they were so close to getting it in the last 3v3.
Well, it's Daniel now under fire with FaZe looking to answer right back. And SSG, of course, needing to win this game to keep their tournament hopes alive, get to a 6th game that would surely be 2v2 as mandated by FaZe, should it come to that. Be a tough task to get this to Champions Field given how the last 2v2 went, but they can't have that in their minds right now. They've got to focus on shutting down FaZe, which is easier said than done as the defense falls apart, broken down by FaZe and First Killer.
Yeah, FaZe Clan got Spacestation Gaming in tangles on the goal line, just the fake of a bump, maybe a real bump as well as he was heading out, and that finish from First Killer picks his spot, puts it away, and restores parity for FaZe Clan.
Coming up on the 2-minute mark, and the nerves are certainly going to be there for Spacestation. Very successful effort on the stage yesterday, but it's a different beast now. You could have lost one yesterday and still had a shot at winning this whole thing. You lose here, and it's night-night Daniel just a little bit high. Rettles, good catch, pop. But again, AJ right there and sent away again by the FaZe defense.
Spacestation Gaming going solo right now. It's Daniel. Arsenal's following up. Great challenge from him. It was risky, but it's worked out. Could have let his teammate Rettles completely isolated. In the end, it did. But by now, Daniel should have time to get back. Whoa. It was a brave decision there to go for that dunk. Almost worked, then almost backfired. In the end, nothing really happened, and it's still 1-1.
Almost a broken play there, too, by FaZe. As First Killer and AJ collided, with one coming down from the ceiling, landing on the other. It still worked out. At least they got a shot off and didn't concede kind of a laugher of a goal. Things are looking very awkward for FaZe defensively, and they don't have a lot of boost to work with collectively. This is an opportunity for Spacestation to come up with a clutch goal of their own.
This was going to go into the center, though. Rettles has to be really careful with this pass so as not to see up First Killer. He has done that. Now he and AJ race for the ball. Rettles just about gets there, but typical once again. When the ball falls to the FaZe Clan player, they pick their spot well and give themselves the lead this time.
Well, it's about time AJ got an assist in this game. That ties him for the tournament lead, by the way. Finally, he just needed one to get up to where Ray's Bull is at for Complexity. We'll see him in action right after this as Complexity takes on Furia. Just another of those dream matchups that we get to see here at Gamers8. First FaZe Clan have to close this out. Yeah, exactly.
Lovely game, but here's Typical. He gets the flip reset. More defending to do from SSG. Look at them on the goal line again. FaZe Clan are pulling them apart, pulling them to shreds, almost getting the third one. First Killer this time wants to win the race. Daniel was there. Rettles have to turn this defending into some sort of attack, though. Desperate to get boost. Rettles has to leave the safety of his home. Daniel slows it down. Good play. Flicks it to a teammate. Rettles, it goes over him, so First Killer can come in. FaZe Clan, they're there. Desperate to get this ball. Daniel up against Arsenal. Here's Arsenal. Can he do anything with it? No, another clearance, this time from AJ. FaZe Clan so close, they can smell $200,000 into the center from Daniel, but it's read by Typical. Rettles, can he get the ball? No, he can't. And 4-1 victors are going to be FaZe Clan.
200,000 reasons for FaZe Clan to celebrate. And a matchup with Guild Esports awaits in